Let's talk about some chocolate muffins, shall we?
Do you know the Muffin Man?
The Muffin Man?
The Muffin Man.
Do I know the Muffin Man?
Who lives on Drury Lane.
Let's go to his house.
Okay. Hello?
Let's do this.
Okay. Hi, friends.
Hello! That's right, it's gonna be backward.
It's gonna be backward, Adam Hamilton. So just get ready. Hello. Happy
everyone.
Tuesday. It's August. Isn't that crazy?
Happy August.
Happy
What?
August.
It's August?
What?
Now, is like...
What?
Katie and I were talking about...
Do you want to switch sides?
No, we're good. Katie and I were talking about...
What's going on?
It's his cabinet sticking up.
Okay.
Katie and I were talking about the difference between... me, Tiny, please.
Yes.
Yeah.
We just started preparing for this like 17 minutes ago.
Dude, I don't know this recipe that we're making. I do know that we had planned something else, but...
We had planned to pickle onions and jalapenos, but I don't know if you heard, there's a recall on onions.
Yeah.
So we thought it irresponsible to encourage all of you to pickle salmonella.
But we thought it irresponsible only after you, Katie, made this dish that you found, a recipe that you found on.
Instagram.
Where you just, was it like just a scroll find?
Oh yeah.
So she made these muffins and I was like, this is the first thing I had this morning. And they were chocolate and they were awesome. And we can talk a little bit about grilled muffins later as a delicacy that we like.
Yes.
Because breakfast, for some people, including myself, is their favorite meal of the day.
So good.
Is it yours? Please comment below.
Yes, and
Let
if
us
it
know.
isn't, tell us why.
Are we saying that breakfast should be? If it isn't, tell us why.
Yes.
We dare you.
So we can talk about it later.
So she made these muffins and I was like, hey, can we make these for Food Love Laughter instead? She said,
Of course.
yeah. Do it again. So, so we're making some chocolate muffins. Woohoo!
Yes! So, full disclosure, I guess. When I found this on Instagram, it was reposted on the Arbonne Instagram. I have had a business with Arbonne for 7 years. And so the key ingredient is Arbonne Protein Shake Mix. If you don't have Arbonne Protein Shake Mix, you might have some other shake mix that you could try to substitute. I, of course, cannot vouch for the other protein shake mix. Arbonne's is pretty good, but this is the chocolate protein. So the first ingredient is 3/4 cup of the chocolate protein mix. And the Arbonne protein is vegan, so if you have a vegan protein at home, even better. Beep, 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 beep.
When you say shake and mix, when you think of a mixer, isn't that also the name of a party and like a drink at the same time?
A mixer, yeah. So like a mixer for a bartender would be like sour mix.
Right.
And then a mixer at a party is like
Yeah. Well, what's the intention behind that?
Well, you
Like,
have
why do you do
a
that?
drink in your hand that has one of the mixer ingredients in it.
Is that what it is, or is it like people mix and mingle together?
That too.
Okay.
But generally, I don't know if this is still true.
Do you think it's a regional thing?
Mixer?
Yeah.
I don't know. Tell us, Facebook world. We
We're
know that
asking a
people
lot of you today.
are all over the country tuning in. So, how do you feel about the word mixer? If you were invited to a mixer, would you attend? Is there a different word that is used in your community?
Yeah, I'm curious.
Okay.
I mean, only because you just said shake and I thought mix, and then like shake and mix, and then like because of my exceptional features in the apron.
The torso area?
I feel like it definitely accentuates my shake and mixing.
You're mixing.
Almost isolating.
Yeah, you're dancing. You're
Chocolate
dancing
shake.
for us. Okay,
All right.
so I put in baking soda.
What's the next
All the
thing?
dry ingredients go together
Boom.
first.
Dry and then wet and
So
then
we've
wet.
done protein shake mix, we've done baking soda, and now we're doing coconut sugar. And the cool thing about coconut sugar,
How much baking soda?
half a teaspoon.
Half a teaspoon.
the cool thing about coconut sugar is that it can be used 1-for-1 with any recipe that has sugar, white sugar or brown sugar. The flavor is a little coconutty, but I don't find it overwhelming.
I did not even notice that.
And it's also low on the glycemic index, meaning that it's not going to spike your blood sugar. So if you have difficulty regulating your blood sugar, or if you're working to shake a sugar addiction, coconut sugar is the jam.
It's legit. Yeah, I didn't even know it was coconut flavoring until, I mean, like I couldn't tell because I had them this morning.
Okay, so
next try.
Will you stir that?
I sure will.
May you?
Want to use this?
Yeah, and then we're gonna put the wet ingredients together. Yeah, there's the little one. So the wet ingredients include, this says...
I'm gonna whisk it all. Whisk it all in the bowl.
Whisk it all in the bowl.
Whisk it all in the bowl, please.
The almond milk is next. We went to Aldi for our weekly grocery run, and they had oat milk
so good.
For the first time.
Yeah, I've never seen that before.
So we wanted to encourage oat milk being there, so we purchased it.
For all those lactose-free friends out there, that stuff is great. We briefly talked about the oat milk ice cream that...
Oat milk ice cream.
Oat milk ice cream that I've been jamming on the past couple... maybe it was a week ago I talked about it. Maybe 2 weeks ago we talked about it.
Yeah.
I think you actually brought it up. The like So Delicious, I think is the brand.
Yeah.
Their salted caramel is really good. It even has like salted caramel chocolate is what it tastes like. That's what the label is. It tastes like there's a little bit of coffee in it, but it doesn't say. Anyway, it's really super tasty. And I've just discovered like oat milk doesn't mess with my body like other milks sometimes will do.
Yeah, sometimes you have trouble with coconut milk.
Sometimes and I'm lactose intolerant, so like I'll substitute coconut milk. You don't have to tell us what you just did.
I will.
Thank you for your patience. So anyway, oat milk totally fine with me, and I like it a lot, and good for the body. Anyway, go ahead, talk to us.
Okay, so the recipe. Yeah, basically what you're learning in this recipe is you're learning about Katie's baking style, which is I look at a recipe and I'm like, well, I have most of that. I could make up the rest of it. Whereas Ezra is much more precise, which is why he is a more successful baker than I am.
I buy that. The more that I bake, the more I think, oh, now and as you'll discover, and as you probably have discovered already, thank you, Max. The more that you bake, the more that you get used to measurements, the more that you can understand, oh, I can just freehand this, or I can just eyeball this. That's different, and knowing which ingredients you can eyeball. So there's some wet ingredients in here that you can totally just eyeball.
Yeah.
But there are some, like, say, dry ingredients or wet ingredients in bread, for example, that you can't really eyeball. You have to be precise.
Yeah.
This one, since we're making, it doesn't have to rise, and that is a thing, isn't it? Like,
yes.
If it has to rise, it's probably got to be more precise. That's why Alton Brown goes more by weight than by cup.
Yeah, and he's of the spectrum. I think Alton Brown is on precision into the spectrum.
Oh yeah, on a molecular level, that guy.
Yes.
It's really cool, but we're definitely don't have all the tools for that.
The recipe calls for almond milk. We're using oat milk. The recipe also calls for almond butter, and I was like, oh, we'll use peanut butter, and then saw that our peanut butter stores were very low, and so.
I like peanut butter.
Yeah, I was like, I wonder who ate so much of the peanut butter in our house.
Although, out of all fairness, we both love peanut butter.
It's true.
And it doesn't make you feel great.
It's true. I can't do I used to be able to do spoonfuls. I can't anymore. It makes the top of my mouth feel weird.
Like rough?
No, not itchy, but it could be itchy. Stop it. You're not gonna learn anything.
Let me see. All right, so this calls for peanut butter. What did you do instead?
So I use tahini. We always have tahini, which is weird because most people, it would be the other way around. They'd be like, oh, it calls for tahini, I'll use peanut butter.
I cannot taste the difference right now.
It's really good. Tahini, because it's a little bit savory, I think it's actually really nice.
I was genuinely surprised when she said tahini. Oh, I use tahini. I was like, what? I mean, I had one in my mouth, and then I ate 2 more after that. I had no, what? Because I don't like tahini as much as you do.
It's true. I love tahini. We use it in hummus, but sometimes I will just put it on rice cakes with everything but the bagel seasoning. I'm a big fan. I'll use it when we're doing like a tuna salad or a chicken salad. If you watched our episode about like tuna avocado salad, like making a tuna salad but not wanting to use mayonnaise, I'll use avocado and tahini. Like, yeah, I'm really very into it. So tahini, vanilla, and then 2 eggs.
How much of what?
A half cup of the almond milk, a half cup of the almond butter. We used oat milk and tahini, and then a half teaspoon of vanilla and 2 eggs. And then it's just a quick stir, and we're also going to add, so it says optional but recommended vegan chocolate chips. Not optional. So the chocolate chips we really like are the Enjoy Life. They're like gluten-free. They're free from gluten, wheat, peanuts, tree nuts, dairy, casein, soy, egg, sesame sulfites, lupin, Remus lupin. Mustard, fish, shellfish, and crustaceans. So like it's real clean, which is why they're a little bit more expensive, but perfect for this. And by the way, part of the reason why this is so awesome is we started the Arbonne 30 yesterday, and so that's also why we're interested in things that are compliant, so that are gluten-free and dairy-free. So I'm just gonna take like a handful of chocolate chips.
Should I mix those in, or we're good as is?
Mix them in.
Got it.
Please.
Yes, ma'am.
So when I made these earlier, I made 9. I think we can make 10. And we'll put them in this muffin pan that is already prepared. And let's not do it that way, because it'll make a big old mess.
This is a learning experience. I mean, what would you best recommend?
This, like a couple of scoops of this.
What if we got a bigger spoon?
Mm-hmm.
Does that help?
Yes. The thing is that batter is a little bit drippy, and so like it'll take the time it takes. But you can use the bigger spoon, and I'll use the small spoon.
Well, I'm just curious, like, why is it that you use a smaller spoon rather than a bigger spoon? Because to me, it seems the bigger spoon would.
Right, but I don't know. I didn't use the big spoon, so I
You
don't
were
know
just
how
like,
it'll go.
you know what? I'll use this small spoon.
Yeah, I was worried about overfilling them because when they bake, they do have baking soda in them, so when they bake, they will lift a little bit.
So you think a smaller spoon helps to regulate the amount? I mean, like, I'm learning here.
I think so. I hadn't thought about using a bigger spoon, so
I'm
I
not
don't
challenging at all. I'm
know.
like,
No, it's okay.
I want to know
Let's
your
try
instincts.
it
I
with
want to
the
know
bigger
your
spoon.
instincts, and you were like, go. We'll do it with the small. Hold on.
Okay.
I want to know
I'm
your
gonna take
instincts
it.
behind, like, I chose the smaller spoon. You didn't even think about it. You just went impulsively to that.
Right.
So
And I think
that's
maybe
one.
I just like to have more control with the smaller spoon.
Yeah.
So that like
Yeah.
I'm evening the dough
2.
across 10 of these things. You know, because it's the
So
worst.
you're just
when
going 2.
For now, yeah, I'll go back in if I need to and put a little bit more. But like if
I
you
see.
overfill these, you can't undo it. You know what I mean?
Right.
So like doing a little bit and then going back to me is better than overfilling them and being like, oh no, now
That's
I'm gonna have
legit.
this one gigantic muffin.
Thinking 3 moves ahead this one.
You were gonna tell them about grilled muffins
Grilled muffins.
for breakfast.
Yes. Scooch over, please. All right. Now get in this house.
Oops.
Well. So grilled muffins. If I had to choose a favorite breakfast meal, have we talked about this? Well, even if we have, grilled
That's
muffins
new
is
people
something.
watching.
Yeah, grilled muffins is something we discovered being out in the farmlands of southwestern Virginia, in Abingdon. It was at a restaurant called Mel's on Main, which is no longer there. I saw grilled muffins on the menu and was like, what is that? And they just took a muffin and split it in half and then put a little butter on both sides and then they put 2 eggs, respectively, on 1 egg on each side. And then that was it. Like, and it was an easy over medium egg. 1 on each side. It was awesome.
I mean, it was an exceptional muffin to begin with.
Dude, and it truly, because of that, now it's like the thing where you have the original taste of something, and every time you have the copy of that taste, you're like, oh man, that makes me think of that one time.
Yeah.
But now it's a recreation of that first time. And it is worth it every single time.
If you live here in Omaha and you have a favorite muffin place, please tell us.
Yeah.
Because we usually will go to, because the thing is, like, you want to get a really good muffin to do it. Like a regular grocery store muffin, I don't think really cuts it. And so you can make a muffin, but also like a bakery muffin. You know, like going to a really nice bakery and getting a muffin there. Or I would say Whole Foods is probably, if you have a Whole Foods in your area, Whole Foods is an exceptional muffin making place. All their baked goods are really good.
Yeah, they take the time and they make it in-house. I like what you did here because you went directly for the big spoon after. I mean, you didn't even hold back. You were like, I gotta get the rest of this.
To get the very last bit.
Yeah. And you were able to spread it out pretty evenly.
Yeah.
Good job.
Looks pretty good, right?
Yeah.
So
small spoon, totally paying off.
Yeah. So these will bake for.
Give me a chocolate 5.
You sure?
Yeah. Always.
Okay. I'm gonna get a paper towel.
How long will they bake for, Katie?
15 minutes.
15 minutes.
At 350. We'll post the recipe in the comments.
And for the first time ever, we have
made them this morning.
We made them this morning, so we were like, let's hold off, and that was difficult to do.
We saved a couple so that we could do.
We saved some
because we realized, we're like critical of our own cooking show. And we're like, well, one of the things that might help is if we bit into the thing or tried the thing that we made, and so.
Okay. Let's get one of these good ones here. I mean, they're all good. Just ones that are a little raised. You can see the different color here. All right. Let's split and share and talk.
Okay.
What do we got?
So, I cooked them, baked them for 15 minutes this morning. And then it says to let them cool in the pan, and then if you have any left over, to store them in the fridge.
Now you didn't even top these with any kind of icing or
no,
they're not a cupcake.
Right. Yeah, and you could split it and put some peanut butter on it, which I originally intended to do, but I don't think you need it with the amount of tahini that's in it.
Okay, I'm gonna split these in half. I didn't wash my hands. Don't worry.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Cheers.
Cheers. Now, the first thing I get is the chocolate, and chocolate will help overpower so much, but the texture is also very dense and chewy and super close to a brownie without it being a brownie. It's really good.
I feel like you'll find in a lot of vegan baking that they'll use coconut oil and nut butter, and gluten-free baking too. Coconut oil and nut butter in order to keep the ratio for the baked good, and so when you refrigerate it, it condenses a little bit, which I found that this has done. I feel like it's a little bit more condensed when it was this morning when it was fresh out of the oven. Yeah. Don't mind, still delicious, but so now feels a little bit more closer to maybe like a cake pop or a truffle than the crumb of a muffin.
Man, nothing but cakes.
Yeah. So we'll bake these and put the recipe in the comments, and see you all next week. Happy August.
Happy August.
Thanks for tuning in.
We love you all.
We love you very
much.
much.
Stay safe out there.
Yeah, stay safe.
So we can see you next time.